Hey folks, here's a little doodle I did. I thought I might walk you through the process of how it came to be. Let's get started. So I started with this half circle, and what you can't see here is that I stared at this half circle for a good 2 minutes before I started drawing the rest of this. When I draw in this style, pretty much every line ends up in the final product. There's no real sketching phase, so I'm a little more intentional, a little slower about it all. I decided I want to do these kind of straps down below, kind of Anglo-Saxon snow trooper, I guess. I've always enjoyed that kind of design. Some kind of helmet. Really like soldier type characters. I decided this was going to be some kind of a soldier. Moved on to the chest. As you can see, I really struggle with drawing chests. So right here, I'm just really blocking out the shapes. I'm feeling them out. Trying to get an idea of who this character is. A little bit of detail work here and there, but mostly just doodling, messing around. You can see. Moving on, kind of get an idea of these poses, his hands. A pretty simple pose for this guy, just one hand at his side and the other one holding something. You can see I don't really decide what he's holding for a little bit. I'm messing around with the arm proportions. And that arm really ended up looking pretty noodly, but I didn't care that much, so I just moved on. Kind of adjusting his waist so it doesn't look like it's sticking out so much, flatter lines. Moving on to a skirt, didn't really feel like drawing anything too fancy for the legs. You can see the feet are very, very simple. Now that I got these basic shapes, I'm just going in and putting a little bit of detail here and there, just kind of feeling it out. I had a lot of fun with these geometric shapes, almost a little bit sci-fi if I wanted to, but I thought that was kind of fun. Blocking in those feet, really didn't want to do anything fancy with those. Something I really enjoy doing, as you can see here, is these characters that have very simple shapes and just try to load them with as much detail and texture as possible. I think it's a really fun challenge to try to keep the character design as simple as possible in the silhouette. There's nothing really complicated going on here, nothing crazy in the pose. You can see I try a lot of things out and then I just erase them. I've just got a whole bunch of layers that I'm working with. That might be fun to have a little pattern on there. No idea what it is, I just like the shape. Finally decide what to put in this guy's hand. Thought maybe he might have a little scepter, kind of Indiana Jones-ish for a little bit here. Decided against it. Nice standard spear, nothing too crazy with that. And also you can see here, I wasn't really interested in too much detail on this. Just want some basic shapes. Always a fan of tassels in the wind, create a nice sense of movement. Give that spear a little bit of texture so it doesn't look like just a stick. Alright, moving on to shading, if you can really call this shading. Really all I'm doing is where these different materials meet, I'm just putting a bit of texture in just to create the sense of depth. It's really nothing crazy. The character's still pretty flat. It's almost like those little 3D stickers you get, right? It's still a flat image, but it does give a little bit of depth, and I think that's fun. I found this green color that I really, really liked, and I thought it was going to be pretty monochromatic. Just kind of filling in everything, giving it a texture. But then I found this red in one of my color palettes that I just thought really nice with the green. So kind of went in, filled it out, and we're broadening our horizons a little bit. We got some browns in there now. Again, just filling in all those things. I like to do this all by hand with these guys. I'm just using the same brush for all of this. It's kind of this waxy pencil is what it's called. And then I'm going through with kind of more saturated colors and filling in those same shadowy bits that I'd done, adding some highlights in the other areas. Thought about doing something with the eyes, decided I just liked them black. I love adding a little bit of directional highlight. Thought it made the spear look nice. Again, I played around with those eyes, decided against it. But yeah, there he is. He's done. I was quite pleased with him. I think he's cute, fun, maybe a little bit scary. He probably pretty good poking things. And anyhow, that's all.